Part 45. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 441. Sci-fi can act and has the courage to rush to the front line to save people. He is also a first-class game player among the stars, but he is still not comparable to the top professional players. As soon as I got off the plane, I screamed, as if I had never seen the world. Is this a game or a game? Thank you for reminding me. I pressed Ji Xingzi's shoulders, his eyebrows calm. I suggest you don't go out after 8 o'clock in the evening, and be careful of accidents. Before the captain of the Galaxy Squadron said anything, a young man next to her jumped out and said angrily, "How do you curse people? What do you mean?" Literally. I waved his hand lazily. "If something goes wrong, you can come to me, but I want to collect the money." The young man was even more angry. "You." "Enough, what are you talking about?" the captain of the Galaxy Squadron scolded. "Isn't it ashamed?" The young man was very unwilling. "Captain, she is clearly cursing us, sigh." He suddenly shivered, as if his body fell into the ice cave in an instant, shivering from the cold. Ji Xingzi saw a floating spirit passing through the young man's body. Although it did not cause any harm, it was so close that people could feel it. "Brother, this is a bad omen." Ji Xingzi lowered his voice. "You fooling is suddenly so much, could something happen?" The floating spirits are people who still miss the world after death and refuse to leave, but with so many floating spirits appearing together, it is very likely that an onmyoji opened the world of the deceased and summoned them. "What's the matter?" I pinched his shoulders. "Dongsang has 4 great families of onmyoji, and they can't handle it." Ji Xingzi shrugged. "Yes, they control their territory, and it has nothing to do with me. Go to the hotel first." I hummed. "I'll pick up Brother Ju, you all go first." Oracle had set the hotel a long time in advance, and each team was assigned its own training room and guest room. There are not many floating spirits in this hotel. The few remaining ones also retreated in fear after I came in. Everything was quiet, and Zhang Changning no longer felt cold all over. Ji Xingzi began to blow the rainbow fart. "Brother, you are the walking talisman, the daughter of luck, and the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements. These floating spirits will be wiped out the moment they dare to approach you. It's no use complimenting me." I glanced at him and said slowly, "I will sleep with Ning Ning tonight. She is weak and yin, easy to be targeted by dirty things. You also have the function of warding off evil spirits. Go play by yourself." Ji Xingzi. He really has no status. I took out some talisman papers, distributed them to Zhang Changning and others, and went to the hotel where Yu Xian was staying, and stuffed him a few talisman papers. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the OPL officially started, and the opponent was drawn by lot. No one wants to meet the West God team in the first round. The Western God team's style of play is too fierce, giving no room for the opponent to survive at all. Hey, I'm lucky the 5-state team drew lots and walked down. "Miss SI, our competition is on the 3rd day. This top team is currently ranked 10th in the world, so it's not very strong. Anyway, they have SI there, so they won't be afraid to hit anyone." Jing Zhou frowned. Team Storm and the rest of the team met West God's team in the first round, and I'm afraid they will be eliminated. The team that came from the Great Xia Empire this time, Team Storm, is also a popular team to make it to the semi-finals, but their luck was so bad that they bumped into Team Zishan when they opened the knockout stage. The members of Team Storm can only bite the bullet. There are team competitions and individual competitions in the knockout round, and the team with the highest score wins. There was no suspense in this knockout match, and the West God team won all the victories. The supporters of the Zishan team in the audience have gone crazy, shouting the names of Kill and Hunter, and they are very excited. "Oh, I heard that Stormtrooper is the 2nd strongest team in Daxia." Hunter took off his gaming headset and smiled. "2nd is such a waste, The first is not much better, right? Hunter means hunter. He is the third strongest player in the Western God team. He has always been arrogant, unreasonable, and unforgiving. Kill just glanced at stormtroopers lightly, didn't say anything, turned and stepped down. For him, Stormtrooper was not worth what he said, not because he looked down on Stormtrooper, he looked down on everyone. Because Team Storm lost this game, the morale of the Great Xia Empire was also hit. At the beginning of the second game, in the backstage lounge, the atmosphere was condensed. Team Zishan has dominated the OPL for too long. The captain of Team Storm shook his head and sighed, we simply can't win a game against them. Both the individual and team competitions were completely lost. They embarrassed the Great Xia Empire. Look at it, at least we fought hard and didn't admit defeat. I think we're great. The young man's eyes suddenly lit up. Hey, Captain, my goddess is here, I'm going to ask for an autograph, do you want it? Hearing this sentence, the members of Team Storm raised their heads. The arrival of SI fucking surprised them. Goddess, the young man stood up immediately, can you give me an autographed photo? Here SI fucking took out the autographed photo he carried with him, raised his eyebrows, I watched your game, relax, don't be discouraged, I'll vent your anger. Her fans, she doesn't cover, who covers? Exhale. This sentence made several people stunned. Goddess, don't be impulsive, your hands aren't ready yet. The young man became nervous, the Zishan team is the number one in the iron fight, we just ran into them in the first knockout round because of bad luck, but I hope the state team can replace us and enter the semi-finals. As for the top three, the goal is too far, they dare not think about it. It's really bad luck. SI fucking squeezed his wrist and said lightly, I didn't meet them in the first round, so I have to find a way to vent your anger, trouble. Goddess, how's your hand? The young man asked again with concern, can you really play the game? Don't be arrogant, and don't care about what those people say on the internet. Don't worry, it's alright. SI fucking asked, is Hunter going to live stream that night? The young man replied subconsciously, yes, he has the habit of live broadcast. It starts at 7:30 and there are many audiences. Well, SI fucking nodded and waved lazily, I see you later. The young man was very happy with the autographed photo. At 7:25 p.m., SI fucking sat in front of the computer and logged into Oracle. The large size she used directly. Yuzian sat next to her and frowned, exhale. Of course SI fuching tooted, I agreed to cover them, and this Hunter made me very unhappy. Yuzian nodded, and after a few seconds, he smiled and asked unhurriedly, girl, I'm also your fan, don't you cover me? His voice was very nice, cold, and warm, and it moved the heartstrings little by little. SI fucking paused, of course, you have to cover it. Yuzian snorted, and her smile deepened, how do you cover it? Stay away from me first. SI fucking covered his ears, damn. You are forbidden to attack me with sound while I'm playing games, you black-hearted, bad guy. So how does she go about picking up people? Yuzian raised her eyebrows, didn't speak anymore, just looked at her. SI fucking moved the stool half a meter away, and then clicked the match. She leaned back on the chair, unscrewed a bottle of Coke, and waited quietly for her opponent. At this time, Hunter was also broadcasting live in the training room. He uses a global live broadcast platform, and the number of viewers in the live broadcast room is as high as 170 million. Hunter entered the arena as usual, looking for players to fight. The barrage is similar to usual, but suddenly there are more. Who did I see? Come on, pinch me, am I opening my eyes the wrong way? Randomly matched to the 9 God. Wow 9 God is really in Dongsang, did anyone meet by chance? Will he be in the audience this afternoon? Ah damn, I was stunned just watching the game and didn't notice any characters who were suspected to be gods around me. Didn't the forum already deduce the identity details of the 9 god? He's around 30 years old, male, and his clothes should be of poor quality. Unfortunately, there is no Daxia game tomorrow, so he probably won't go to the scene to watch it. This OPL can be said to have the largest audience. The organizers of Dongsang moved the venue to the largest venue in Qingdu, and the tickets were sold out wave after wave, which made the organizers too happy. God 9 alone drove the economic development of Oracle, and Sci-fi also received dividends from Jiyun. The Oracle is divided into 3 major areas: Daxia District, West Continent District and Dongsang District. Arena random matching always matches players from the same district. This proves that 9 has arrived in Dongsang. The audience in the live broadcast room was instantly excited, and they all ignored that this was Hunter's live broadcast room, and the barrage of 9 is invincible appeared. In esports, the strong are respected. Not only in Daxia, but also in 11 Continent and Dongsang, there are many worshippers of 9 god. This is the first time that 9 has appeared in the arena in the public eye. Hunter's face sank, black enough to drip. He clenched the mouse tightly and sneered, "Dungeon is good, but it doesn't mean that it must be good when playing against players. The monsters in the game are all programmed, but the real people are adaptable." He met 9, and he must be the first to defeat 9. The progress bar is loaded, and the characters controlled by both sides are also displayed on the screen. Hunter is still using the Demon Hunter, which is his famous role. He is also the #1 Demon Hunter in the entire server. Opposite the Demon Hunter is a man in fluttering white clothes with a heavy sword on his back. Swordsman. 1 Sword Frost and Cold 14 states. Too handsome, what's the point of life if you can't marry 9 god in this life? It's okay not to marry 9 god, 9 god marry Ju Shen, and satisfy my wish. Bah. CP can be dismantled and irreversible, 9 gods marry 9 gods. Demon Hunter is the occupation of the Western camp, and Swordsman is Eastern. Oracle can be popular all over the world, but also because of its diverse occupations, with both Eastern and Western elements, players have a strong sense of substitution. The beauty of OPL is also the confrontation between the Eastern and Western camps. The first swordsman to the first witcher, who will win? The audience was all excited, staring intently at the screen, ready to record the game and play it back at any time. As soon as the action system voice sounded, Hunter had already controlled the Demon Hunter to attack. The swordsman in white also moved. The swordsman was too fast, as if he had teleported. The audience hadn't been able to watch for a few seconds when a loud bang came. Boom! The huge body of the Demon Hunter fell to the ground. The words defeat appeared on the screen. Damn it, Hunter hammered the table hard. He didn't see clearly how the swordsman avoided his attack, and how he drew his épée to kill the character he was controlling. What kind of speed is this? Is it really something people can have? This is not a battle, but a one-sided slaughter. Hunter and Kill have fought many times, and they have not been crushed to such a degree. An unprecedented shame. And it was also seen by the audience in his live broadcast room. If he knew that he would match the God 9, he would never start a live broadcast. Hunter's face flushed red, and he clicked to quit, but he failed to quit the arena, because 9 didn't quit either. Only the winning player can decide whether or not to end the battle, otherwise it will be a continuous battle. Hunter's face was even more ugly. Once is not enough, 9 wants to kill him again? Just when Hunter was about to turn off the live broadcast, the swordsman in white moved again. This time he didn't attack, but a line of words appeared above his head. Current 9, that's it? Hunter was stunned for a moment, and then he only felt the blood flow back, and the extreme humiliation flooded into his heart, and his hands trembled. After half a second, his screen was occupied by 2 words. Apparently the other party used a special prop. More than 100 million viewers around the world who watched the live broadcast also saw these two words. Current 9, waste. Ask the goddess of the short division for a monthly pass QWQ. I want to write too much, two-way secret love, future interstellar wasteland, infinite horror, but I don't have that many hands, so I choose to have a good time in my head, and then finish. In fact, if the story of Fu Chang'e and Rong Chen is really published, they are probably short stories of Immortals 2333. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 442. There was a dead silence, and the barrage was empty. These two huge words slapped Hunter's face fiercely like two slaps. He stared at the message sent by the other party, the blue veins on his forehead violently, almost going crazy. How could he not see now? 9 is deliberately squatting him in the arena to humiliate him. He started playing at 14, and he hasn't been so humiliated in 6 years. Hunter gritted his teeth and said something with a gloomy face. Current Hunter, what if I win? To be a human being, you still have to be humble and know that there is an old saying in Daxia, there are people outside people, and there are heavens outside of heaven. Current 9, boy, it's hard for you to know the saying there are people outside people, there are heaven outside people, Daxia culture has learned well. Current 9, unfortunately, don't forget, in Oracle, I am God. I fucking exited the arena after saying this. She didn't know that this sentence directly caused Hunter's live broadcast room to explode, and the posts on the Oracle International Forum were instantly filled. You are so handsome, you are so handsome, so handsome. This is to vent the anger of the Storm clan, ha 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 ha, I am so excited, the stage is so dragged, the arena and 9 are killed in seconds, it is really a waste. In Oracle, I am God, only God 9 is qualified to say this. I originally thought that the Zishan team was the #1 team in the world, and the players were all in the top 5 in the world, at least they could compete with 9 God, but I didn't expect the gap to be very large. 9 is God. Immortals are different, not everyone can touch porcelain. Hunter's face was contorted. He unplugged the computer directly and calmed down for 5 minutes. His hands were still shaking. Terrible. The only thing I can be happy about at this moment is that 9 God did not participate in the OPL, otherwise the Western God team will be wiped out. On the other side, in the hotel. 9th brother, although there are quite a lot of floating spirits here, they won't hurt anyone without the call of the Onmyoji. I fucking lifted the curtain and glanced out the window. I put a sticker on your door. Fuji, are you not afraid? Yeah, Yuzian supported her head. I'm afraid. I fucking. Why can't she believe it? Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. I fucking comforted him. You are a man, your physique is not so yin, you are lucky, they dare not approach you. If there is no problem, I will go first. Yuzian raised her brows and looked back at her with a smile, so the girl said she was covering me, but she just said it verbally. I fucking, what kind of eyes are you looking at? Don't make me look like a scumbag. She is different from the 3rd senior sister who can't even remember other people's faces. Go back. He reached out his hand, touched her head, and whispered, be careful on the road. I fucking was still worried, and put on a few more talismans before leaving. After she left, there was a sudden gust of wind outside the window. Night falls, and ghosts run amok. The window also made a bang, bang, bang sound, but when you looked around, the naked eye couldn't catch anything. Yuzian opened her eyes, her pupils were clear and bright, and slowly glanced at the window. The floating spirit outside the window was so frightened that he had to leave as if he were running away. Everything is quiet again. Here, I fucking returned to the hotel where the Wuzhu team stayed. Zhang Changning rubbed his arms and complained, it's really evil. As soon as you left, I felt cold all over, as if someone was blowing air in my ear. It's alright, I'll protect you, I fucking said, have a good sleep. Zhang Changning quickly fell into a deep sleep. I fucking sat next to her, his eyes narrowed. Qing is the capital of Dongsang, and there are so many floating spirits at work, which is indeed a bad omen. And at this moment, in the room where the stormtroopers were, the team members silently watched the replay of 9 killing Hunter, staring at each other for a while. The captain of stormtroopers was silent for a moment, and said faintly, "Do you remember, Miss Si said in the afternoon that she wanted to vent her anger for us? Then she asks Xiao Wang Hunter if there is a live broadcast at night? And confirmed the specific time. Losing to the Western gods is nothing, esports has always won and lost. But Hunter's humiliation to them after the game was something no one from Daxia couldn't bear. But there is no way. The players from the Great Xia Empire who came to participate in the OP this time, only Jingzhou and Zhang Changfeng can keep up with Hunter's hand speed, and they can't even get revenge." As soon as these words came out, the room fell silent again. The young man who asked Si fucking to sign his autograph was in a trance. He stammered, so my goddess is my idol. God 9 can be said to be the national idol in the Oracle. It is no exaggeration to say it is God. Several people glanced at the exact inference of the 9 God in the forum. 30-year-old, male, with poor clothes, and a vigorous age. Except for the last word, you can't get one at all, okay. Captain, then we can rest assured, one of the team members said excitedly, with 9, the champion will definitely win. Not to mention the team competition, she will have no problem wearing 5 in the individual competition. The stormtrooper captain slowly exhaled, "Don't say it, let me calm down." A minute later, he started knocking his head on the table. "How does this make people calm down?" The young man was delighted, "My goddess is really amazing." He leisurely went to Kaehua to post, and posted a signed photo of Si fucking. The next day, early in the morning, Zhang Changning rubbed his head and walked into the restaurant. "Sisi, I slept well yesterday, but I had a dream that a woman asked me to find her." "Huh?" Si fucking's eyes moved slightly, "Where can I find her?" "Under a willow tree, walk 300 meters to the east." Zhang Changning's side, "It's just a dream, don't take it seriously." Si fucking squeezed the chopsticks and put them down after a few seconds. "You eat, I'll go out for a walk." She got up and kicked Ji Xingzi, "Come on." Ji Xingzi hurriedly followed. "Big brother, Miss Jiang's physique is indeed not suitable for Dongsang. You still have something to dare to pester her." He certainly wouldn't think that Zhang Changning was just having a dream. Si fucking hummed lightly, "Go to the east and have a look." The two quickly came to where Zhang Changning had said. "There is a big willow tree here, at least 100 years old." Earthbound spirit, Ji Xingzi only glanced at it, and his expression changed slightly. This earthbound spirit should only appear, and its cultivation base is not high. If it harms a few more people, it will be troublesome. The emotions and obsessions of the earthbound spirits are much stronger than those of the floating spirits. The remaining 10% are guardian spirits. Wandering spirits are not aggressive, but earthbound spirits are. The powerful earthbound spirit can even destroy a city. Ji Xingzi took a deep breath. "I'm really convinced, there are so many ghosts here. It's true that walking into ghosts during the day. It's normal." Si fucking squatted down. 1,000 years ago, Dongsang was an era when he and monsters coexisted alone. Some monsters are still alive. If you and I meet, we may not be able to defeat them. The master of Qingfang in Begwalai, Shuttenboy, Yoseokian, are all monsters with profound cultivation, not to mention ordinary people. Even ordinary onmyoji have no resistance. The 100 ghosts Yexing summoned by the Fujiyama family using the array method is incomparable to the real 100 ghosts. Ji Xingzi shrugged, "As long as it's not the 8-headed snake, I can still support it. I already know your wish. I fucking looked directly at the tomb under the willow tree with a cool tone. I will avenge you, but if you dare to harm others, it will be wiped out now. Now, choose. The willow tree suddenly trembled slightly, and the wind came. Jingzi faintly heard a woman roaring sharply. In the gust of wind, Si fucking remained unmoved, and she said again, if you don't choose, you will die. Buzz. The willow stopped trembling, and after a few seconds, a branch drooped, apparently making a choice. Let's go. Si fucking stood up, repay her revenge, the resentment will dissipate, and the earthbound spirit will also dissipate. Jingzi gave a thumbs up, Big Brother is awesome, threatening to bind the spirit, only you can do it. They superseded the bound spirits, and only dared to use the most gentle way, for fear of angering the other party and causing unimaginable consequences. He followed his boss fucking, and before he took 2 steps, an excited voice suddenly came, Master. This master is staying. Si fucking paused and turned around. She was wearing a mask and hat and couldn't see her face clearly, but it was not difficult to make out that she was an extremely young girl. The owner of the voice was an old man. He was shocked by the young girl's youth, but he quickly recovered and bowed to Si fucking, his tone respectful, Master, you are a real master. The spirit is obedient. Earthbound spirits do not have any intelligence, they have a lot of resentment, they only know how to take revenge, and they will not be obedient until their wishes are fulfilled. Yesterday, this earthbound spirit had already killed a person, and he came here today to solve it, but he did not expect to meet the yin-yang celestial master. 1000 Onmyoji can produce 1 Onmyoji. The old man took a deep breath and bowed again, dare to ask where the master came from. Such a young yin-yang celestial master can only be cultivated by the 4 great families of Dongsang yin-yang. Fujiyama, Sakai, Takaizawa, and Natsukawa, which one is it? Si fucking raised his eyebrows, coming from Daxia. The old man was shocked, Senior turned out to be from Daxia. Dongsang popularized the technique of yin and yang and the 5 elements, but it was undeniable that it was passed down from Daxia. Well, Si fucking didn't say much. Is something wrong? There is indeed something wrong. The old man bowed for the 3rd time, my old lady has fallen into evil, and I want to ask the master to check it out. Don't worry, the remuneration is not a problem, as long as the master can cure my old lady, the whole family's wealth will be presented. Si fucking nodded, okay, let's go. She just wanted to find out where so many floating spirits came out. Thank you, master, the old man was overjoyed, and immediately led Si fucking to a villa. Jingzi said, my dear, the yin is so heavy, and you dare to plant a locust tree at the door. Who will die if she doesn't die? He spoke Chinese, which the old man did not understand. Si fucking glanced at him. Jingzi shut up. The old man led Si fucking into the back room, and just said, Madam, SHH, Master Hishin is checking the old lady's condition. The lady made a gesture to silence him, don't disturb Master Hishin. Si fucking's fox eyes squinted and looked over, it was a man in his 60s. But Taoism is very shallow, and it can only be said that Onmyoji is just getting started. However, most Onmyoji are still in the primary stage, and this line of business pays great attention to talent. Si fucking said, Hishin. Jingzi shook his head, I haven't heard of it. There are too many Onmyoji families in Dongsang, but many of them are nameless. Si fucking looked at Master Hishin's actions, and said unhurriedly, if you use the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements like this, the old lady will really die. In a word, let everyone in the house have a meal. Both the lady and the master looked at it and found that it was a very young girl, both of them were stunned. Master Hishin, who was treating the old lady's evil spirit, also turned his head, his eyes were cold, who is this? Who allowed someone to disturb me? Madam hurriedly stood up, I'm sorry, Master Tsuruta, the retainer brought people in without understanding, I'll let her out. The old man was also anxious, Madam, this is the true master, the yin and yang dash. What is the real master? Master Hishin is neither cold nor hot. The yellow-haired girl dares to call herself an onmyoji, a joke. Yin and yang are reversed, and the 5 elements are in different positions. Si fucking wrapped his arms around his arms. Now anyone can come out and become an onmyoji, and they are swindling and cheating here. Master Tsuruta's expression was as gloomy as water, and he threw the cup in his hand on the table with a pop. What do you know? An apprentice next to Master Hishin jumped out. My master is the 17th generation disciple of Master Yawu, inheriting the techniques of the master. What are you pointing at here, a yellow-haired girl? Do you know who Yawu-sama is? Jizingzi. He looked at Si fucking faintly. Brother, do you still have disciples and grandchildren? Are they all 17 generations? Good morning. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 443. Even if his eldest brother's age is combined, he is not as old as the swashbuckling Master Tsuruta, right? I don't know either. Si fucking pondered, maybe it was an apprentice in a dream. No, I'm a face control. I accept apprentices to see their faces. Jizingzi suddenly raised his eyebrows. Could it be that you knew me at the time, eldest brother, because I was good looking? Si fucking looked him up and down, and said lazily, okay, I'm getting started, 7 points. Jizingzi was full of energy now. He knew that Si fucking had a standard rating scale in mind. It goes without saying that Uzion is a perfect score, and no one can compare with it. In the eyes of his eldest brother, several top males who have also been blown away in the entertainment industry are only 5 points at most. He has 7 points, and he can cross his hips proudly. The conversation between the two made the whole house fall silent again. The apprentice was furious and his fingers trembled. You dare to pretend to be Master Yawu. You guys, you are going to be hunted down by the entire Yin-Yang Dao. In the circle of onmyoji, whoever is stronger is the absolute supreme. Even if Yawu abolished the 300 onmyoji of the Fujiyama family in the Dongling Sea, the Fujiyama family did not hold any hatred towards him, but only admired and feared him. Even after Yawu became famous in the first battle of Dongling Hai, the 4 major families of Dongsang Yin and Yang also specially carved a statue of Yawu to worship to show respect. Mujiang of the Fujiyama family, on the one hand, respects Yawu, but it does not prevent them from always wanting to kill Yawu and replace him. Mrs. Bainai, what kind of master are you hiring? Master Hishin was completely enraged and stood up abruptly. How dare you pretend to be the master? How can the name of my master be replaced by a yellow-haired girl? Well, today if you don't kneel down and apologize to my master, please be wise for the old lady's condition. With that said, he flicked his sleeves and was about to leave. Mrs. Bainai was in a hurry. She apologized repeatedly. Master Hishin, calm down, I will let her drive away and offend Master Hishin. My Bainai family is willing to pay another 2 million, please Master Hishin, don't care about this. A little thing. After she finished speaking, she said angrily to the old man, who are you bringing with you? You have angered Master Hishin. What should I do about the old lady's illness? The old man stood in front of Si fucking and hurriedly said, Madam, I have seen this young lady make the earthbound spirit obey. She is indeed not an onmyoji, she is a celestial master. Mrs. Bainai was taken aback, really? Although she is not an onmyoji, because Dongsang practiced the technique of yin-yang and 5 elements, ordinary people also have a certain understanding of onmyoji. The onmyoji is 1 level higher than the onmyoji. Seriously, "Ma'am," the old man said again, "this young lady is from Daxia, and Daxia is the origin of yin-yang technique. The old man is a retainer of Bainai's family, and he knows some yin and yang techniques. Mrs. Bainai believes in him very much." Mrs. Bainai immediately stepped forward and bowed to Sci-fi, very respectfully, "Please also ask the master to see what happened to my old lady." "Okay, okay, you would rather believe a yellow-haired girl than me." Before Sci-fi spoke, Master Hishin laughed angrily, "Farewell. Even if you pay 10 million, I will not cure the old lady's disease." The apprentice was also indignant, "No vision. And let the earthbound spirit obey? What a fantasy." The apprentice followed behind Master Tsuruta with the box. But the two of them didn't go out of Bainai's house, and a faint voice sounded, "I let you go." As if some invisible force was blocking the footsteps of Master Tsuruta, he walked forward with all his strength, but he couldn't take half an inch. Suddenly, with a bang, he was bounced back by the air, his body turned in the air, and bounced in front of Sci-fi, his nose bruised and bruised. The apprentice was shocked. "Master." Master Tsuruta fell into a fog, and he didn't know what was going on at all. Before he could regain his senses, he lifted his head uncontrollably. "Good disciple and grandson, your master is here." Sci-fi took it easy, "I see my master, but come here to kneel and kneel to see you. Is this your apprenticeship etiquette?" Master Hishin suddenly widened his eyes, You. Even people can control it, what kind of yin and yang technique is this?" Sci-fi put his hands behind his back and smiled slightly, "Since you call me a master, and you are my 17th generation disciple and grandson, give me 17 kowtows, and I will teach you some knowledge. What do you think?" The enormous pressure came, and Master Tsuruta knelt down with a thump. Uncontrollably, his head began to slam toward the ground, one after another, unable to stop at all. "The apprentice is already stupid, teacher, master." When Master Hishin kowtowed to the 17th head, he took control of his body, but his head was already bloodied, and he didn't even have the strength to stand up. He slumped to the ground, his brain buzzing, fear gripping his heart like an icy serpent. "I can't control what you do, but you shouldn't use my name to deceive you." Sci-fi's tone was cool, and he approached step by step. "I will ruin your business today, ruin your Taoism, and ruin your yin and yang and 5 elements. Force. Do you agree or not?" Fu. Master Hishin began to kowtow again. This time he was frightened and begged for mercy frantically, "Sir, please forgive me. Lord, please forgive me, I don't dare anymore, I don't dare anymore, please sir spare my life. No one has ever seen Yu Wu's true face. But they all agree that he is an expert who has lived for hundreds of years, otherwise how can he be able to defeat the 300 Onmyoji of the Tanshin family? Master Hishin has already collected a lot of money by virtue of the name of Yu Wu's apprentice and grandson, and he did kill others because of his academic ineptitude, but the other party did not expect that he would not be able to do so, only that the patient was incapable of recovering. Over time, Master Tsuruta also drifted away. The Bainai family paid 5 million to invite him this time, and Master Tsuruta would naturally not miss such a good opportunity. But he didn't expect that he cheated and met Yu Wu himself. What made him even more unbelievable was that Yu Wu was a young girl. Isn't this rubbing the Fujiyama family's face on the ground? The Bainai family were all dumbfounded. The old man was even more excited. "Madam, you see, I'm not mistaken, it's a magical power." Mrs. Bainai was dumbfounded. "It's really a master. Bainai's family can't be ranked in Dongsang, it can only be regarded as a wealthy family." The old lady's illness was helpless this time, and it was because she found out that Master Hishin was Yu Wu's disciple and grandson, so she hired him at a high price. Even the old man did not expect that a master he randomly met on the road would be the legendary Yu Wu. Master Hishin wanted to stand up, but his injuries were too severe and his cultivation was abolished. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood and passed out. The apprentice was also stunned. Ji Xingzi kicked out one by one. Let me see you again next time, I will let you go to ashes. Sci stepped forward to check the condition of the old lady of Bainai's family, and said lightly, it is indeed evil that entered the body. It should have happened 3 days ago. Your old lady went to a place where she should not go and was entangled. The elderly, children and women are all overcast, and there are too many floating spirits in Dongsang, so they cannot go to places such as cemeteries and unfinished buildings. Mrs. Bainai's expression lifted. What the master said is not bad, it really happened 3 days ago. Ji Xingzi immediately came over and volunteered, I'm here, I won't bother my eldest brother with this. Mrs. Bainai was stunned and looked a little dazed. Master has a preference for men disguising as women. Sci. She kicked Ji Xingzi blankly. Ouch! Ji Xingzi exclaimed bitterly, respectful title, this is my honorable title. The treatment went very smoothly, and Ji Xingzi made the old lady of Bainai's family return to normal with a talisman. Mrs. Bainai cried with joy, thank you two masters, thank you Lord Yawu, and please Lord Yawu to stay, I will send someone to prepare a generous gift. No, we save people, you give the money, and the two are cleared. Sci looked lazy, remember to cut down the locust tree at the door, and we will see you again if we have a chance. Ji Xingzi's mouth twitched. Where is the fate? It was obviously made by money. But it also reminded him that he was going to set up a stall in the city center tomorrow to earn some money to go back. He told his boss Fu Qing, brother, your strength has recovered a lot. Yes, I pinched his wrist, it's quite a lot. I'm going to kill someone in Dongsang this time, and I'm still a bit short. Ji Xingzi was stunned, who? Sci said lightly, Fuji Yamajing Yi. Ji Xingzi's expression was solemn, the culprit who helped the Zhou family to take your luck. He seems to be still in retreat. Well, inquire Sci said, he should be leaving soon. No problem, I'll go to Fujiyama's house to find out the information. Ji Xingzi sneered, if you come one by one, you won't be able to escape. The next day, the first game of the 5-state team arrives. The peak team is Dongsang's team. Like the Wuzhou team, it is a popular team in the country, and there are many spectators. There are as many as 500 million global online people watching live broadcasts, and the national game is not a blow. The luck of the Wuzhou team cannot be said to be good or bad. The peak team has developed well this year, and has absorbed a few good seedlings. It is also a strong team in Dongsang. Sci is still the starting player. If the Wuzhou team loses this game again, the morale of our Daxia will really drop to the bottom. Hey, I don't understand the tactics of the Wuzhou team. Neither Jingzhou nor Zhang Changfeng are in it, isn't this sure to lose? Sci is playing pharmacist, an auxiliary profession. It seems that he wants to lie down in the team competition. The game used the official full-level game account, and the 5-state team's lineup made the peak team very confused. They specially set up tactics against Jingzhou and Zhang Changfeng, but neither of them appeared today. Sci knew them naturally. Spokesperson of the Oracle. The Stars are absolute game powerhouses, but compared with the top 10 teams in the world, they are still worse. The game was won today. Sci put on his earphones, put his fingers on the keyboard, and a steady voice reached the ears of every team member, don't be afraid, there is me. The team members are also high-spirited. Not fighting alone. The peak team is indeed not weak, and in each team battle, due to the mistakes of one player, in 2 seconds, only the pharmacist controlled by Sci was left in the Wuzhou team. The audience present exclaimed. I don't understand, why didn't Jingzhou and Zhang Changfeng come on? If the two of them are on one, they might destroy the dough. Sci is playing with the pharmacist, it's over, don't look at it. The team members also panicked, Miss Sci. Sci's brows were calm, leave it to me. On the screen, the pharmacist moved, instantly dodging 3 attacks with an extremely incredible posture, and killing 2 people. 1 kill. 2 kills. The next second, the flute in the medicine master's hand suddenly flew out again, piercing the third person's chest. Oh my god, the 3 consecutive pierces. The commentator was stunned for a moment, then he was very excited and said in a fast tone, "Yes, you read that right, an auxiliary profession like a pharmacist can even be called an assassin, as expected. She is the spokesperson of our oracle, our spokesperson is really amazing, she really does not lose to professional players." The atmosphere under the stage was instantly high, and some audience members jumped up. You. Put your hands on baby. I was moved to cry. The Musi people don't care what good ranking SI fucking can get, they only care about her hand. Now that SI fucking can burst out with such a hand speed, it can be seen that her hands have all recovered. This makes them very happy. Esports fans are also stunned. 3 kills, everyone is stupid, this is the first 3 kills of this OPL, right? Yes, Kill didn't get it either, SI fucking is better at controlling the field than him. No, brothers and sisters, 4 kills. But this is not over, because the pharmacist of residual blood has not stopped. And many more. Shouldn't she be thinking? Boom. The health bar of the last player in the peak team disappeared instantly, but SI fucking was full of blood in an instant. 5 consecutive peerless. Another 8,000 words of diligence ovo. I saw that the 900 votes in the bookstore are about to break through 1,000, and the babies will break through 1,000 votes. Tomorrow we will watch the third watch. Alas, there is another epidemic in ZN 5555. Let me spoil you, Wixu is good and good, the other 3 of the Eternal 4 are the only ones who can hand over their backs in their previous lives. There is no betrayal between life and death. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 444. In less than 5 seconds, SI fucking killed 5 opponents in a row, killing them directly. The voice of victory sounded, and the pharmacist who looked like a loli jumped up again happily. The 5 players of the summit team looked at the darkened computer screen, but couldn't react. It's dead silence. Not even the sound of breathing. The narrator stared blankly at the big screen, and stammered, "Our spokesperson destroyed the other party, the regiment." The female narrator was also shocked and almost lost her words. My god, the first 5 kills of this OPL was born. The first one. SI fucking, this name is enough to be recorded in the history of OPL. This sentence finally pulled the audience back from their shock. 5 kills. Kill can't do it. Put SI fucking on the public screen, I'm going to blow her today, no words are too much. Tell passers-by fans about the difficulty of 5 kills in professional competitions. The professional pentakill is much different from the usual pentakill in the game. Usually, getting 5 kills in a battle is worth boasting on the World Channel, but it is impossible to directly hit 5 professional players. Team Peak is the 10th ranked team in the world. All players have a hand speed of 400 or more. At this moment, the remarks about SI fucking does not have the spirit of esports and does not respect esports competitions have disappeared. This is absolute strength. She has the strength to tell everyone that she can decide the outcome of this game, and she doesn't need all the fake names. Our spokesperson is really too strong. Under the prompt from the backstage, the commentator barely recovered. It is understood that Miss SI fucking was unfortunately injured due to rescue before participating in the competition, and everyone is very concerned about Miss C's injury. I'm here to greet Miss SI on behalf of the fans. Thank you for everyone's concern. SI fucking took off his earphones and stood up. I was also lucky enough to meet a genius doctor, my hand is healed, and I also thank my teammates for their support and trust in me. Develop tactics, I'm not alone in today's game. She waved towards the audience and smiled slightly, her eyes were determined and bright. We are the 5 states of the Great Xia Empire. Finally, see you in the final. See you in the final. 5-state team. 5-state team. The audience roared with applause and cheers. The audience was all excited. Yu Tang held her face. Ninth uncle, Ching Ching is so handsome. I have decided, I want to be her wife fan. Why is she so handsome? Hearing this, Yu Xian glanced at her lightly. Yu Tang was silent for a moment, she covered her mouth abruptly, and whispered, in the past few days, I will definitely not betray you, Uncle Ninth. Yu Xian did not continue the topic, but asked, how did you rest last night? Very good, I feel pretty cool even without the air conditioner on. Yu Tang wondered, will something happen? Yu Xian sighed, it's nothing, it's pretty good, go back as soon as possible after watching the game, don't act alone, call me if you have anything. Yu Tang touched her head and felt that she couldn't keep up with Yu Xian's IQ. She took out her mobile phone and surreptitiously asked Lu Xingheng for help. Lu Xingheng. Lu Xingheng, what your ninth uncle means is that it's good for you to be an idiot and a beauty. Yu Tang was furious. You actually call me a fool, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Lu Xingheng. He's tired, so be it. In the individual competition, Sci-Fi did not appear, and the Wuzhu team won 3 wins and 2 losses, and successfully entered the next round of competition. After the game, Sci-Fi returned to the hotel. Ninth brother, how is it? Am I good? Yu Xian looked at her with a look of seeking praise, her eyes softened unconsciously, with a faint smile. He handed her a bottle of Coke, and never stingy with his compliments to her, it's amazing. Have you made a bet? Sci-Fi hugged the iced Coke, I calculated it very clearly, the funds must have increased dozens of times. Just like a football game, every round of OPL has a bet, as detailed as how many people were killed by what profession. Sci-Fi specifically asked Yu Xian to press her to be able to kill 5 medicine practitioners, and the odds were as high as 500. Go. Yu Xian's brows moved slightly and smiled, the staff called me just now to ask the girl to show mercy. Sci-Fi held his chin, okay, then wait for the final to bet. She really is a little genius who is good at making money. Hashtag Sci-Fi, 5 kills hashtag. Hashtag OPL's first pentakill was born hashtag. Hashtag Jedi counterattack hashtag. The name Sci-Fi has appeared on various social platforms around the world. I was at the scene, I was already stupid when she killed 3 times, she was facing a professional player. I look forward to the championship fiercely. Could Sci-Fi be the first pharmacist himself, but I remember that the first pharmacist was in the hands of Dongsang's team. While other stars are trying hard to think about how to go international with their acting skills and works, and let the citizens of the world know, our wife is a step ahead by relying on game technology, worthy of you, Sci-Fi. The Oracle's forum exploded one after another, and each major team made the 5-state battle team the number 1 enemy, and began to formulate a battle plan against Sci-Fi overnight. The Western God team is no exception. Jing Zhou and Zhang Changfen were already rare esports geniuses, but they didn't make the Western God team feel such a strong sense of threat. Hunter's brows furrowed. He kept replaying this few seconds of video of Sci-Fi killing 5 members of the Peak team. The more he watched, the more horrified his expression became. What's wrong with you? Kill noticed and said coldly, this is scary. At that time, the 5 members of the Peak team were all half-blooded, and you could also get 5 kills. No, I think her fighting style is very familiar. Hunter took a deep breath, his voice trembling, Captain, she's so much like 9, she's so neat, isn't she 9? The day before yesterday, he met 9 in the arena and was instantly killed. He was watching the replay afterwards, but he couldn't tell what combo 9 used. It is indeed the day of the Oracle. It makes people unable to even have the heart to challenge. How is that possible? The deputy captain laughed. If she was 9, what would a pharmacist do? Just use a swordsman, not to mention how old was she when 9 played Oracle. She is 9 years old, and the captain was dug into the youth training team when she was 12 years old. This SI fucking absolutely cannot be 9. Talented esports players have shown it from a young age, and Kill is one of them. He entered the youth training team of the Zishan team at the age of 12, and in the same year he was able to get the rank of king in the arena. 9-year-old esports masters are not absent, but it is impossible to reach the level of 9. Hunter opened his mouth, but I analyzed it for a long time, she dash. No need to analyze, Kill interrupted, the age is not right, it is impossible, I saw it, when she killed the other 2, the peak team was already in chaos, so she won the 5 kills, the mentality of the top team is too bad, this situation will not happen to us. Okay, Hunter, if she's really 9, then why don't you use a swordsman? The vice captain shrugged, it can't be for money, right? Hunter was relieved when he heard this. He was really shadowed by 9, which caused him to tremble when he saw the swordsman now. If SI fucking is 9, then they really don't even need to fight. The first round of knockouts came to an end soon, and 24 teams were finally decided for the next round. The second round of the knockout round is still conducted by drawing lots, and the competition system has not changed. The team that was drawn to the Western God team this time also belonged to the Western continent. At this moment, in the hotel where the esports players live, in a training room, the words Phoenix Fire are hung on the door. Phoenix Fire team is another strong team of Dongsang. Its name is taken from the monster Phoenix Fire in Dongsang 100 Ghosts Night Walk. It is said that Phoenix Fire is the incarnation of Firebird. The good news is that we didn't draw the Zishan team, the captain said. The bad news is that our opponent in the second round is the Wazoo team. The strength of the peak team is almost the same, and this game is probably lost. The Wazoo team is the new team of this OPL. Before SI fucking got the 5 kills, it was not regarded as a difficult object by other teams. There are too few esports players who can become famous in the OPL. After so many years, there has been 1 kill, and now there is another SI fucking. The Phoenix Fire team didn't want to meet the Wazoo team, but they were unlucky, and they were drawn by lottery. What do we do now? A team member sank his face. Is there any way we can make the 5-state team lose to us? There was silence in the training room. A young man who had not spoken for a while suddenly opened his eyes, and he smiled lightly. It's very simple, just keep their main force from participating in the competition. The captain's expression lifted, and he was reminded, yes, Kinyi, you are from the Takaizawa family, and you make good use of the technique of yin and yang and the 5 elements. The peak team has already lost, and we must not lose again. Takaizawa Kinyi nodded and said, leave everything to me, just to teach them a lesson. This is Dongsang, the world of Onmyoji. The ghosts are rampant, and the darkness is not yet clear. On their territory, the Wazoo team is a dragon, and that has to be taken care of. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 445. In any case, no matter how strong the Wazoo team is, they are just a group of ordinary people. How can they compare with the Onmyoji? That's right, the captain nodded and agreed. Desya came to participate in the OPL team this time, except for Team Storm, who was unlucky and lost to Team Zishan. The other 5 teams successfully advanced to the next level. The situation is very bad for us. If they lose again, Dongsang will only have 2 teams that can compete for the top 4. The match is tomorrow, so tonight, just let them disappear. Takaizawa Kinyi got up and bowed to the others. Please wait for my good news. SI fucking brought OPL the first 5 kills this year, allowing the Wazoo team to directly overtake the Galaxy team and become the most popular team in the Daxia Empire. Not surprisingly, her fans started a new round of skyrocketing. The most fierce esports fan who complained about her before has now become her loyal fan, and her combat power has even surpassed the old mooses. And because of the strong demands of esports fans in other countries and regions, Sang Yanking opened a new social account for Sci-Fucking, and then watched helplessly as his fans rose from 0 to 3 in just a few hours. 11 million and counting. Sang Yanking stared at the number and let out a breath slowly. She called Sci-Fucking, "You are really good. Now international friends only think you are a professional player, they don't even know you are an actor." Before the artist she brought out of the country, the name was already famous all over the world. This is another unimagined path to the international. Sister Sang, calm down, Sci-Fucking said in a leisurely tone. This is just the beginning, there is still a long way to go, and we can't lag behind in terms of actors. Wait for me to give you the whole thing. As soon as Sang Yanking heard Sci-Fucking say the whole thing is big, she had a big head. Dong Sang is no better than Daxia, protect yourself over there, Sang Yanking urged. I heard that there are always people hitting ghosts over there. Although it is nonsense, you still need to pay attention. You only need to play games with peace of mind. Leave the rest to me. No problem, Sci-Fucking said, I just passed one yesterday, so there's nothing to be afraid of. Sang Yanking. She tried her best to keep up with her boss's thinking, and cheered her on, then you should go over a few more. After she finished speaking, she looked at the terrified eyes of the assistant agent on the side, and said again. Since working with Sci-Fucking to the present, she has also begun to talk nonsense. What a terrible thing. This side of the hotel. Sci-Fucking received celebrations from many people again. She stretched, rolled on the bed, and quickly fell asleep. Zhang Changning on the other bed also slept soundly. After an unknown amount of time, the window opened with a creak, and something flew in. At the same moment, Sci-Fucking suddenly opened his eyes, and there was a chill in the bottom of his eyes. After a few seconds, she closed her eyes again and completely relaxed her body. After an unknown amount of time, a voice gradually rang in my ears. Don't say, their Daxia people are quite good looking, and each of these 3 people is better than the other. Isn't this nonsense? The young master said, there is a female star here. Young master said that they can't be killed, as long as they can't participate in tomorrow's game, we have to watch it carefully. Several servants were talking, and a lazy voice interjected, what are you talking about? Talk to me too, I have social bullshit. The voice fell silent for a moment. The girl's fox eyes rolled up and looked at them with a smile, very cool and quiet. Sci-Fucking woke up, which surprised several servants. They suddenly looked at Takaizawa Kinyi, master, she. Takaizawa Kinyi was also a little surprised, but he quickly calmed down. Miss C's spirit seems very good, and she is suitable for being an onmyoji. Takaizawa Kinyi smiled slightly, my Shikigami has been shot, and Miss Si is still able to wake up so quickly. He asked his Shikigami to bring 3 people in total. Sci-Fucking, Zhang Changfeng, and Jingzhou. Zhang Changfeng and Jingzhou are still in the dream that he constructed, unless he releases the magic control over them, they will not be able to wake up at all. Sci-Fucking was beyond his expectations, but she was on his territory, and he wasn't at all afraid that she could do something out of his palm. He didn't mind chatting with her. Shikigami, Sci-Fucking raised his head, his eyes fell on Takaizawa Kinyi, who are you? In the next Takaizawa Kinyi smiled lightly, the name Takaizawa must have been heard by Miss Si. Takaizawa Sci-Fucking leaned back on the chair, I haven't grown up for so many years, and I am very disappointed by the children of the Takaizawa family. Takaizawa Kinyi's smile narrowed, and his eyes became a little colder, Miss Si, do you know what you are talking about? The entire East Sang, and even half of the Western continent, treat their 4 great families of Yin and Yang as their guests, and even Liberty Continent will invite them to help. No one has dared to say such a thing. Of course I know. Si fucking raised his eyebrows. I said that you haven't grown at all. No wonder you are at the bottom of the four great families of yin and yang. She glanced at Jingzhou and Zhang Changfeng, who were in a coma, and said in a cool tone, "And you brought us here. Did you forget the Onmyoji's admonition that you can't do something to ordinary people?" Miss Si knows that she is an ordinary person. It would be better Takaizawa Kinyi sat down opposite her, so you don't even think about participating in the second knockout round. Of course, if Miss Si can withdraw from the 5 states, the team joins our Phoenix Fire team, and I can let you go now. Is that so? Si fucking said lightly. It's a pity that you have misunderstood me. I'm not an ordinary person that you can handle. The yin-yang 5 elements realm has rules and cannot do anything to ordinary people, which coincides with the rules of the follower. But there are still people who ignore the rules and mutilate ordinary people. Hearing this sentence, Takaizawa Kinyi's expression solidified little by little, and his voice was cold. Miss Si, I know the origin of the yin-yang 5 elements technique in your summer, but times have changed. You are a person who lives in the public eye. Celebrities, you can't touch that. You know the soul? You know the Shikigami? You know what is called the escape method? You don't know at all. He didn't feel any fluctuations in the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements in Si fucking. A completely ordinary person, but his physique is better than ordinary people. Although he couldn't compare with the direct descendants of the 4 great yin and yang families, his surname was Takai's after all, and those Onmyoji who were loose cultivators couldn't compare to him. Daxia's Onmyoji? Joke. 1500 years have passed, and Daxia is far inferior to their Dongsang in the skills of yin and yang and the 5 elements. What to compare them with? He can't compare with the direct descendants of the Takaizawa family, but he can't take care of a few esports players. After being provoked several times, even if Takaizawa Kinyi had a good temper, he was also angry. Be optimistic about the 3 of them, he instructed a few servants. I will set up a formation outside this room, and the formation will be automatically lifted at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, so I can only blame Miss Si. Si fucking narrowed his eyes, and after a while, his eyelashes drooped. I know that Miss Si is unwilling, but you can speak according to your strength. Takaizawa Kinyi held his hands behind his back, condescendingly. I didn't kill you directly, I have already been very kind to you. If you dare to speak rudely to my Takaizawa family, today is your day of death. After he finished speaking, he was too lazy to talk to Si fucking anymore, so he turned around and left. Alright, Si fucking said lightly, the rules of the yin-yang 5 elements realm don't require ordinary people's solutions. Takaizawa Kinyi's footsteps paused and seemed to be amused. Do you know what you're talking about? You don't need to know what I'm talking about. Si fucking smiled, because I'll let you know what a real Onmyoji is. She squeezed her wrist and stood up unhurriedly under the shocked eyes of several servants. There was no trace of injury at all, and the power of yin-yang and 5 elements fluctuated wildly at this moment, covering the entire room. The control Zhang Changfeng and Jingzhou also instantly woke up. When they saw the scene in front of them, both of them were shocked. Zhang Changfeng is okay. He is a member of the Divine Doctor Alliance. He knows the existence of the supernatural administration. He has a strong ability to accept it. As a native of Daxia with a good education, Jingzhou stared at Si fucking for a few seconds, and then fainted again. Zhang Changfeng supported him in time, and his expression changed slightly. They were taken out of the hotel without a sound, and he didn't feel anything. I had long heard that Dongsang's yin-yang 5 elements technique was very terrifying, but I didn't expect him to meet him so quickly. Kessie fucking. Takaizawa Kinyi's pupils shrank suddenly, and before he could say anything, he heard a loud noise. He looked up suddenly, but found nothing. Takaizawa Kinyi turned around again and his eyes fell on the girl. Under his horrified gaze, Si fucking said indifferently, "Lay lie." Boom. The sky was startled by thunder, the situation changed rapidly, the light pierced through the darkness, and the gust of wind blew up the entire roof in an instant. In a dazzling white light, the girl stood still, and thunder and lightning entwined her body, as if the god of war had descended. After a lapse of 8 years, on this day, Yu Wu came to the yin-yang 5 elements realm again. Babies with monthly passes will give you hundreds of millions of them. Let's add more in the afternoon. In the early morning, I was suddenly called to do nucleic acid, and I didn't sleep all night, and the whole person was groggy, dreaming of winter. Oh, you are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 446. A huge thunder blasted in the sky, shaking the eardrums. The dark clouds were densely covered, pressing down on the ground, completely covering this small piece of heaven and earth. Outside this small world with a radius of less than 20 meters, the world is silent and there is no change. Takaizawa Kinyi's eyes were terrified and horrified. He looked at Sci-fi surrounded by lightning and blurted out, inducing, the technique of attracting thunder. You actually. There are 7 rank of Onmyoji. Ordinary Onmyoji of the 1st to 3rd rank, good at gossip and 5 elements, Feng Shui survey and astrolabe calculation. Onmyoji of the 4th rank and above can summon floating spirits, make good use of Onmyoji and 5 element formations, and can also foresee the past and future through the spirit body. And above the 7th grade, there is a higher level. Inciting thunder and lightning, summoning wind and rain, this is the magical power of the yin-yang celestial master. The Takaizawa family is one of the 4 great families of Dongsang Yin and Yang, and there are at least 10 Yin and Yang celestial masters. Takaizawa Kinyi had also met several elders of the Takaizawa family, all of whom were famous and surnamed figures in the yin-yang 5 elements realm. A yin and yang celestial master can make a family have a complete foothold in the yin and yang 5 elements world. But if you want to enter the level of yin-yang celestial master, you have to practice for at least 180 years. How old is Sci-fi? There were only 4 words left in Takaizawa Kinyi's mind. How is this possible? It is true that it was the ancestor of the Fujiyama family who went west to the Great Xia in 704 of the Xia calendar to learn the way of yin and yang and the 5 elements from the ancestor of the Ji family. But they have also developed their own yin and yang way in the past 1,000 years, created more yin and yang techniques, and with the retirement of the Ji family, the 4 major yin and yang families of Dongsang dominate. Takaizawa Kinyi was taught that Dongsang is the originator of the yin-yang and 5 elements Dao since he was a child, and the Great Summer is already on the decline. But now he has met a yin and yang celestial master who is less than 20 years old. Takaizawa Kinyi wanted to escape, but there was no way to escape. The previous calm and calm were all torn apart, leaving only an unprecedented panic in his heart. What are you afraid of? You are an Onmyoji. And I am also an Onmyoji. Sci-fi stepped forward 1 step at a time, she raised her hand, and lightning flashed from her fingertips. I like playing Onmyoji so much, I will accompany you to the end. At the same time, the Fujiyama family. The night was dark, and even the nightingale fell silent. The silence was broken at this moment, and the first elder hurried in, quick, hold a family meeting. The head of the Fujiyama family froze, and immediately summoned all the senior management of the Fujiyama family. The first elder sat in the first place and took a sip of water. According to reliable information, Yu Wu is now in Qingdu. As soon as these words came out, everyone's expressions changed. Yu Wu has come to Dongsang, the hand of the owner of the Fujiyama family shook. Is this true? Where did it come from? The credibility is 70%. The elder's voice sank. There are a lot of people who use jade to cheat, and they can't control it. This time, a perennial cheating old man bumped into Jade in the process of cheating. I am no more. He was directly deprived of his cultivation and the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements by Yu Wu Vi. He is still lying in the intensive care unit, and his mind is lost. The crowd took a breath. The owner of the Fujiyama family hurriedly asked, "Can that family see Yu Wu's appearance? Where did he go?" I see the elder shook his head, but according to the family, after Yu Wu left, they forgot what he looked like, and they didn't even have any impression of whether he was a man, woman, or child. The owner of the Fujiyama family suddenly fell back into the chair and murmured, "Yes, it's Yu Wu. He actually came to Kingdu. We haven't messed with him recently, what should we do now? He has clear grievances, and he is not a person who kills indiscriminately." The second elder was silent for a moment, then said, "If he didn't provoke him, he would not have done it easily. The injustice has the debt and the owner. Yu Wu is a chivalrous person, otherwise he would have been 8 years ago, our Fujiyama family was destroyed." "That's right," the elder nodded slowly, "we must be respectful and treat each other with courtesy. Before the strength can't replace it, one word, forbearance." When the Ji family was strong, they were also respectful, and finally endured until the Ji family retired. They were strong. This time there will be no exceptions. Jinjao is about to leave the customs. In time for this exchange conference, the elder stroked his beard and said, 7 days later, in the exchange conference in the yin and yang world, there are big figures from Liberty Continent coming, and we are ready." Hearing this sentence, the head of the Fujiyama family was shocked. "I heard that the 5th disciple at the top of the cloud in the Liberty Island is a yin and yang celestial master, and his cultivation is very high. If he is here this time, then my Fujiyama family must take good care of it. Befriend." A few people were talking when a thunderous sound suddenly sounded in their ears. The first elder suddenly shuddered, suddenly got up, and saw the thunder and lightning in a small piece of sky in the east, and the thunder was rolling in from so far away. The strange thing is that this thunder and lightning only covered a small piece of the world. The head of the Fujiyama family trembled. "No, it can't be Yu Wu, right? No, if it's Lord Yu Wu, it's impossible to just trigger such a little thunder and lightning." The elder shook his head. "There is the territory of the Takaizawa family, maybe someone in their family is practicing onmyoji, a very common thing, don't care. The most urgent task is to find Yu Wu and treat him as a guest, and then establish a good relationship with the people at the top of the cloud. Whatever happened to the Takaizawa family has nothing to do with their Fujiyama family." The thunder and lightning gradually faded, and the sky regained its calm. Takaizawa Kinyi was paralyzed on the ground, blood dripping from the corners of his mouth, his face pale. His breathing was trembling, his voice could not come out, and his body kept shaking. Takaizawa Kinyi had never encountered such a terrifying thing before. He just wanted to prevent the Wuzhu team from participating in the second knockout round, but he didn't expect that there was a yin-yang celestial master hidden in the Wuzhu team. He is only a 3rd rank onmyoji. In front of a yin-yang celestial master, what is it that is not a bandor? Next time you meet me, be careful, you know. I fucking squatted down slowly. She suddenly smiled. "Sorry, I forgot, there is no next time." Takaizawa Kinyi spat out another mouthful of blood, his eyes darkened, and he passed out completely. Several of his subordinates are not even onmyoji, they just know some yin and yang and 5 elements, and they are powerless. Everything is calm again. I fucking took out a tissue and wiped the sweat off her forehead. She turned her head and said, "Are you all right?" Zhang Changfeng paused for a moment and said euphemistically, "I'm fine, and his body is normal, he just fainted from fright." I fucking. It sounded like she was some kind of evil spirit. It turns out that the rumor that Dongsang onmyoji is everywhere is true. Zhang Changfeng squeezed his brows and slowly let out a breath. "I have no defenses at all, fortunately you are here. Onmyoji's methods are endless, and it is impossible to guard against them. If it wasn't for Sci-fi's release of Takizawa Kinyi's control over him, he probably wouldn't know how he died. This guy's Shikigami is the nightmare taper. Sci kicked Takizawa Kinyi, who had passed out, and said lightly, "This is a kind of spiritual body that feeds on dreams, and it is relatively rare. It's hard for him to be so confident. It's a pity that the effort is not at home." She remembered that she once played against another Onmyoji who was also a nightmare taper. This Onmyoji can crush Takizawa Kinyi with a single finger. Zhang Changfen nodded slightly. The world is so big that it is full of wonders. It's still early. Sci glanced at the time and stretched slowly. "Let's go back to sleep. Ning Ning will be afraid if I leave for too long." Zhang Changfen. "No, he has to slow down first." A few hours later, daylight came. The second round of the knockout round has officially started. The duel between the Wuzhu team and the Phoenix Fire team was the first, and there were more than 100,000 spectators. Sci-fi's popularity is the highest among all the contestants in this match. The organizers specially opened a live broadcast room to prevent the system from crashing due to excessive traffic during the live broadcast. At this moment, both teams are in the lounge. Phoenix Fire team is here. "Where's Kinyi?" The captain frowned. "Why haven't you come yet? Could something have happened?" "Captain, don't worry, it must have succeeded." One of the team members laughed. "Kinyi is an Onmyoji. It's too easy to clean up a few ordinary people. Originally, he didn't play in this knockout round." The captain thought about it and thought so too. After all, Onmyoji has absolute suppression on ordinary people. Unless there is an emergency, there will be no accident. "The time is up, let's go up first," the captain said. "Without Sci-fucking Jingzhou and Zhang Changfen, we will win this game. Esports is about fair play. Yes, they don't play match fixing when they play. As long as they win the 5-state team, the glory is theirs." At the front desk, applause and cheers sounded, and the host invited both teams to enter. "Captain, look, Jingzhou and Zhang Changfen didn't show up." The team members lowered their voices. "Neither did Sci-fucking Kinyi succeeded." The captain squinted his eyes and found that the players from the 5 regions team who were a threat to him were not there, so he completely let go. The audience below the stage also talked a lot. "Why didn't Sci-fucking come? Nothing happened, right? Believe her, she must have other tactics." "Hey, there's a new face," another team member said. "Why are you still wearing a mask? It's mysterious." The commentator also said at the same time, "Our Wuzhu team has a newcomer. This player is not on the Wuzhu team's main selection list, but is an alternate player. It seems that the Wuzhu team has changed new tactics today, so let's stay tuned." "The game starts now," the female commentator said. "Let's see the careers chosen by the players on both sides." Phoenix Fire team took the lead in locking the assassin. The assassin is very explosive in the new version, and it is indeed a good choice. Let's look at the state team here. She paused for a while, and said in surprise, "The violinist." The 5-state team chose the violinist. On the screen, the white-robed pianist stood on his back, his robe fluttering, and he was handsome. There was an exclamation from the audience. Several members of the Phoenix Fire team were very surprised. "Captain, they actually choose a piano player first." The luthier is also an auxiliary occupation, and the positioning is a bit awkward, and the number of appearances in the opera is very limited. Use the first grab. Do you think that you are the #1 violin master in the whole server, who can defend, attack and heal the 9 gods? The third update. Can't be partial to QVQ and give your majesty a monthly pass. Yutang x Lu Xing Hung, stupid beauty x doctor with poisonous tongue. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 447. The profession of a luthier is not as good as that of a pharmacist. Before the 9 gods appeared in Oracle, only casual players would play luthiers. After all, the luthier's modeling is very handsome and there are many fashions. The reason why the 9 gods can be called another supreme god in the Oracle is because he has opened up a new way of playing the harpist profession. After that, many anchors went to learn, but unfortunately they couldn't learn the essence, but it did greatly improve the appearance rate of the pianist in the arena. But even a top streamer is still far away from a professional player, and a chicken rib profession like an opera violinist won't appear at all. The Phoenix Fire team couldn't hide their joy when they saw that the Wazoo team had directly locked in the profession of violinist. This time, the 5-state team lost. The viewers watching the live broadcast of the game were also stunned. Although the 9 gods are very powerful, not everyone is the 9 gods. Isn't the appearance of the Chin master pure and pure to give the other party a benefit? Sci-fi will not have any trouble, right? She was not present today as captain. Bullshit, if something goes wrong, it's someone else's accident. Okay, the two sides have chosen, and the game starts now. The commentator held the microphone and stared at the big screen. 3, 2, 1, action. Both sides attack. The competitive map of the 5-player battle is very large, and a battle will last about 40 minutes. Confirming that there is no threat to the Wazoo team today, the Phoenix Fire team chose to attack quickly. Kill the piano player first, the captain said. Kill him and the others will have no supplies. We will solve this game within 10 minutes. The 5 people surrounded the piano master according to the assigned tactics. Naturally, this action could not be concealed from the Wazoo team. In just a few minutes, the first team fight began. The Phoenix Fire team is also worthy of being another strong team in Dongsang, and quickly killed 4 players of the Wazoo team. Good chance, the captain restrained his excitement. There is only one person left. If we kill him, we will win. With a huge victory right in front of him, he completely forgot why the luthier they targeted first was still alive to the end. Yuzian's fighting style was not as violent and changeable as Sci-fi's, but more calm and quiet. But this insipid silence is a life-threatening knife. The 5 attacked together, attacking the center. Zheng. A splendid light burst out, the light dissipated, and the blood bars of the characters controlled by the Phoenix Fire team had all bottomed out. At the same time, a 4-character announcement appeared on the screen. 5 consecutive peerless. In an instant, the Phoenix Fire team was wiped out. The 2 commentators are already stupid, and they even forgot the commentary. Slaughter. This is clearly a massacre. I got 5 kills in a blink of an eye. Team Wazoo has already given me a feeling that it is very easy to get 5 kills in the professional game. How can I feel this way? I'm floating. Although all 5 of the other party were beaten with blood, it is difficult to kill 5 people, so beautiful. I rely on. Is this the 9 gods? Why do I think it's the 9 gods? Only the 9 gods can make the violin master play to the extreme. If the 9 gods are in the Wazoo team, doesn't that prove that the 9 gods are also there? After all, 9 sings 9 songs. What kind of ghost words are 9 singing 9 sui? Before everyone could react, Yuzian got up and stepped down, and didn't stay for a second longer. Off stage. Yu Yao stared blankly ahead. Ayao, why do you take it so seriously? Beside him, Xieche was curious. You know him? Yu Yao frowned, staring closely at the tall and straight figure. The more he looked, the more his heart skipped a beat. Why does he think that the game master of the Wazoo team is very similar to Yuzian? But his 9th uncle's legs were crippled, and it was impossible for him to stand up. He had never seen Yuzian play games. Yu Yao pursed his lips, took a few more glances, and shook his head. I don't know, the body shape is still a little different, I must have read it wrong. If Yuzian had this ability, would he still have a reputation as a waste in the circle of celebrities in the 4-9 cities? You're so lucky. Sieche shrugged, I fucking didn't show up at all today, and she didn't even have her in the contestant's seat. You made a special trip and didn't see it? Are you disappointed? When did I come for her? Yu Yao said coldly. There are only a few left in the Daxia team, and the Wuzhu team is the most popular. What's wrong with me? Sieche didn't speak, he muttered in his heart, and he was so embarrassed that he didn't let anyone say anything. He saw that there was nothing good about the six-seedling of Ji's family. He even copied the embroidery, and he didn't know where Yu Yao was blind. The second round of the knockout round ended so quickly that the Phoenix Fire team didn't even react, and they were already eliminated from the competition. Captain, it's a mistake. One of the team members was extremely annoyed. They actually put such a strong player in the reserve team. They let Takaizawa Kinyi trap Si fucking Zhang Changfeng and Jing Zhou, but they did not expect a more difficult opponent. Damn, the captain's face sank. They even got them a 5 kills. It's like stepping on them. Captain, Kinyi hasn't come back yet. The vice captain hesitated. Nothing really happened, right? The captain was stunned, but he is from the Takaizawa family. This is Dongsang, he can come out. Before he could finish speaking, the phone rang. The captain connected. He just heard a sentence. His face changed greatly. Okay, I'll go over. The players all looked over. It's an accident. The captain's hands trembled. The Takaizawa family asked us to go over now. He could only hope that the Takaizawa family would not take their anger on him. Takaizawa's house. Takaizawa Kinyi is indeed not ranked in the Takaizawa family. He can be remembered not because of his high attainments in the yin-yang and 5 elements, but because the Phoenix Fire team that he belongs to once won the runner-up of the OPL. Several top families in Dongsang also know that Oracle is actually a 3D online game invented by Liberty Island. But Takaizawa Kinyi doesn't know whether he is alive or dead now, and even if he wakes up, he will most likely be in a vegetative state. Takaizawa Kinyi's family was very angry. In the hall, the atmosphere was condensed. Speak. What's the matter? The middle-aged man said with a cold face. Did Kinyi say what he was going to do the day before the match started? The captain of the Phoenix Fire team gritted his teeth. We just want to make the Wuzhu team unable to participate in the battle. Kinyi said that this matter is handed over to him, and we will also. Big brother, I am afraid that Kinyi met the onmyoji of other forces when he started, and was caught behind by the mantis. Another person checked Takaizawa Kinyi's injury. What a vicious method, to actually his cultivation is all useless. He still has the power of yin-yang and the 5 elements. If the cultivation base is obsolete, it can be rebuilt. But the talent for communicating the power of yin and yang and the 5 elements is gone, and it is no longer possible to become an onmyoji. The middle-aged man's expression suddenly changed. Can you find out which forces onmyoji did it? For example, the 4 great yin and yang families of Dongsang have their own yin and yang techniques with distinct characteristics. I can't find it out. The man shook his head. The traces are not obvious, and I can't tell what the path is, but it should not be the other 3. The middle-aged man's face sank, cloudy and sunny, and his eyes swept to the captain of the Phoenix Fire team who was kneeling on the ground. 5 states team. The 4 words were squeezed out of the gap between the teeth. His son Takaizawa Kinyi has become like this, and the Wuzhu team should not think about it any better. The team of the Daxia Empire, the captain said hurriedly. The captain is a star and the spokesperson of the Oracle. He is very strong and has become popular in the esports circle now. The spokesperson of the Oracle, the middle-aged man calmed down a bit. That really can't be moved on the bright side. It is also very troublesome to move secretly, but the rest of the Wuzhu team has no background and can easily deal with it. Kinyi is completely useless. The man sighed. Big brother, we can only train others. This matter must be investigated. The middle-aged man couldn't bear it. Our Takaizawa family can't be bullied like this. Get out. The last 2 words were addressed to the Phoenix Fire team. The captain and a few team members ran away in a tumble. They are ordinary people after all, and they are too far away from the world of Onmyoji. Big brother, the Fujiyama family has confirmed the news of Yawu's departure. The man frowned. We must not be ostentatious these days, or we will suffer if we provoke Yawu. The Takizawa family never fought against Yawu head-on, but in the Dongling High battle, Yu was unable to suppress the Fujiyama family's 300 Onmyoji, which made the entire yin and yang world feel terrified. They naturally knew the horror of Yawu. No Onmyoji's own combat power can reach Yuwu's level, which is simply incredible. Yawu suddenly appeared in Kingdu. Why? Can't find the reason, which makes them panic. The middle-aged man nodded. Have they found any trace of Yawu? So that we can be prepared. The words are just casually mentioned, because middle-aged people also know that Yawu is the peak combat power of the yin and yang world. As long as she doesn't want to, no one can find her. No, the man smiled, but even if Yawu really came to the door, the first one should be the Fujiyama family, after all. His words were not finished. A lazy voice sounded, revealing a touch of coolness. How did you know that I was looking for the Fujiyama family first? So confident. I suggest Xiang babies not to migrate first. The system functions of the new app are not complete, and the data is not unified and perfect. I can't see TVT even if there are rewards and comments there. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 448. The middle-aged man turned around suddenly and shouted sharply, "Who?" They were able to come in without the two of them being prepared. The visitor wore a mask and was tall, but because he was wearing a hat and cape, he could not tell the difference between men, women, and children. But this look is astonishingly the same as Yuwu's dress in the Dongling Sea 8 years ago. The middle-aged man's legs were weak, and he fell directly to the ground. He didn't have to doubt that Yuwu's statue was still standing outside. Some people pretend to be Yuwu's disciples and grandchildren, but no one dares to pretend to be Yawu himself. Because without that strength, it can be dismantled at once. It's hard for you to look for me so much as I fucking sat down unhurriedly, picked up a teacup and played with it. I can't bear to see you guys, so I'm here. The hall was dead silent. The middle-aged man knelt on the ground, his voice trembling, and his words were out of tune. Master Yawu is here, come here, really let us shine here, dare to ask the adults what's the matter? Our brothers will definitely do it. Having said that, infinite panic has risen in his heart, and his body trembles even more. If a big man like Yawu came to Takizawa's house, the elders and the head of the house would have to greet him in person, so why would he be staring at their small sideline? You're so courageous to do something to me from Daxia, I fucking said in a cool tone. I warned the Fujiyama family and didn't warn you, and your memory will be bad, so I came here to remind you. Boom. This sentence blew the middle-aged man's mind to a blank. He stiffened his neck and glanced at Takizawa Kinyi, who was lying unconscious on the bed, and his thoughts went through in an instant. The Onmyoji who deposed Takizawa Kinyi turned out to be Yawu. It is well known that the yin and yang techniques used by Yawu are of their own kind, and they are often violent, and they will not leave any traces related to the power of yin and yang. No wonder they couldn't trace which one it was. The middle-aged man panicked, he thumped and knelt on the ground. Lord Yawu, spare your life, we don't know about this, it's all done by this kid alone. Lord Yawu has a clear lesson. Really? I fucking nodded. I seem to have heard it just now. You still have to deal with the Daxia people. Did I hear it wrong? The middle-aged man's face was instantly pale, and layers of cold sweat appeared on his back. He opened his mouth, but couldn't utter a word. It's done, he's done. In the past, Yawu killed the 300 Onmyoji of the Fujiyama family in a fit of rage, because the Fujiyama family wanted to attack Dongzhou through the Dongling Sea. Yawu guards this yacht, which is known to everyone in the yin-yang world. It's good to meet anyone, but it happens to you woo. I heard that, then take care of your family. I fucking suddenly put down the teacup and smiled slightly. Next time, you won't be so lucky. She left openly, but no one dared to stop her. It was not until her back completely disappeared that all the senior members of the Takizawa family appeared. This is the first time that a middle-aged man has seen all the elders of the elders, and it is also something he has dreamed of in the past. But now it has become a life-threatening knife. Patriarch Takizawa glanced at the middle-aged man who was still paralyzed on the ground, and his voice was cold. Come here, family law. If they don't handle it properly, the whole Takizawa family is unlucky. With you Woohoo's short personality, I don't know what kind of madness will happen. On the OP arena, the media failed to keep up with the new players from the 5-state team today. They only interviewed others, but still did not get any useful information. Everyone is guessing who the new masked man from the Woohoo team is today. At this moment, Uzion had returned to the hotel. He pushed open the door and went in, and saw the girl lying on the sofa pouring water on himself. So I sat down beside her. Are you happy? Happy? I fucking stretched out a hand and tapped the keyboard to calculate the odds. I earned another sum. Both pharmacists and luthiers are occupations with extremely low appearance rates, and the odds are also high. Pentakill odds are even higher. The two add up to a happy win. She is really good at making money. Uzion hummed, and he smiled lightly. Just be happy. I fucking met his gentle light amber pupils, and couldn't help but be stunned for a while. When he saw her in a trance, he lowered his body slightly, his eyes were level with her. What's the matter? Now that the distance between him and her is closer, she can see his dark eyelashes, which are thick and slender. His eyes are very good looking, and they are rare Rufeng eyes. When he lifts and restrains, the dark light floats, with some kind of fatal bewitchment. However, his gaze was steady and powerful, without the slightest impurity. I fucking pushed him away abruptly and sat up. I'm going to find Ning Ning, the money will be credited to your account when the time comes. She stood up immediately, hugged the computer and ran away. Uzion also straightened up, his brows moved, he held up the teacup and thought lightly. Slip fast. No luck next time. I fucking went all the way back to the hotel where he stayed. Zhang Changning was eating snacks, and when she saw her coming back, he was puzzled. Didn't you go to find Mr. Yu? Why did you come back so soon? Did something happen? I fucking raised his head and said faintly, I think I was seduced by my golden master. Zhang Changning. I am such a strong-willed person, and I won't react if I am not tempted by ordinary people. I fucking was righteous, but he grew up in my aesthetic point, and he even attacked me. His heart is really black. It's useless to seduce me. It's impossible for me to agree to 4 or 6 points with him, at most 5 or 5 points. I'm already very generous. Others don't even want to deduct a penny from me. Xiaobai raised his paw. It proves that the stingy owner is right, and even it has been deducted from dog food. Zhang Changning sighed, let's have some snacks, it's just made. I fucking was distracted, and happily picked up the dessert to eat. The 5-state team in the third round of the knockout also passed smoothly, leaving only the finals. The Woohoo team suddenly became the favorite to win the championship, and the popularity also overwhelmed the Zishan team for a while. The 2 5 kills in this year's OPL were all won by the 5-state team, and the other teams also had at most 3 kills. I fucking also regretted to find that the odds were gradually declining, and there was no way to make more money. Brother, I found out why there are so many floating spirits. Ji Xingzi knocked on the door and walked in. There is a ghost in Chaiwan Mountain that is about to be born. I calculated the time, it's not today or tomorrow. Nether is an existence of the Emperor level in the earthbound spirit, and its cultivation base is more than 500 years. At least 20 yin and yang masters are needed to suppress it. I fucking narrowed his eyes, Isn't there any movement from the four major families of Dongsang? Yes, each family has already sent people, Ji Xingzi said. It is said that the pervert from the Kukaki family has also come. Although they are all perverts, you are still better, eldest brother. The pervert of the Deadwood family, Si fucking raised his eyebrows, the Deadwood Bright Moon. It's her. Ji Xingzi looked serious. She is not only an S-level evolutionary, but also a yin-yang celestial master. That's it. Si fucking stroked his chin, it actually startled her. It seems that this matter is very difficult. This sentence made Ji Xingzi fall into a suspicious pause. After a few seconds, he said quietly, "Don't tell me you know." Si fucking snorted, "I met and fought a few times. Unlike you, you were a netizen at the beginning." Ji Xingzi. Sure enough, pervert and pervert play together. With so many people going, we don't have to join in the fun. Si fucking leaned back on the chair lazily, "I'll prepare well for the last game." Ji Xingzi nodded, "I really don't need us." The phone rang at this moment. Si fucking glanced at it, and picked it up. "Elder Cai. Hey, fucking, are you in Dongsang?" Cai Zhonian was very happy. It just so happens that Seata has a medical exchange program there. They went into the mountain today to investigate, and there will be a seminar tomorrow afternoon. You can go and listen. Entering the mountain, Si fucking paused. "Which mountain?" "Chaiwan Mountain," Cai Zhonian said. "This mountain has a history of thousands of years, and the natural scenery is well protected." They went to investigate wild medicinal materials. Professor Xiang, who led the team, has a deep understanding of cell engineering and genes. Learn. Don't you want to learn this knowledge specifically? Just in time, you can follow Professor Xiang to study hard. Si fucking and Ji Xingzi looked at each other, and her voice sank. "Elder Cai, please contact Professor Xiang immediately and ask them to go down the mountain immediately. There is a problem with this mountain and they cannot go there." "Is there a problem?" Cai Zhonian was stunned, and didn't ask the reason. "Okay, I'll contact you right away." A few minutes later, Cai Zhonian returned the phone, and his tone became serious. "Fu Qing, there may be a problem. I can't contact them. I called the system and said that they are not in the service area." Trouble. Si fucking and Ji Xingzi looked at each other. "Come on, let's go." Akahara Mountain. The sun slanted westward, and the setting sun dyed half of the sky red, as if a red fire was lit in a white lantern, which was dazzling. Chaiwan Mountain is also a scenic spot, but tourists are walking down the mountain at this time. And the survey team led by Professor Xiang is still going up. "Professor, we can climb to the top of the mountain in 2 hours," Wei Chenjiun said. "The tent and other equipment are also ready, and we can stay for one night." Professor Xiang is a woman in her 60s. She has high attainments in cell transplantation and genetics, and is amiable. She nodded, "Okay, everything is up to you." Several people walked up, but there was a burst of rapid footsteps behind them. Wei Chenjiun turned his head subconsciously, and was stunned when he saw the person. "Miss Si. Why did you come up the mountain?" All turned back. Chen Wengzhen was also stunned in place. Wu Weining did not expect that she would meet Si fucking here. Since she was removed from the berth of a staff by Director Qin, she has not swallowed that breath. But she had a good time in the past 3 months. She perfected her thesis on cell transplantation, and she was able to get a high score in the defense at the end of May, and her tutor was going to apply for a patent for her. During this period, no one hindered her, and she is about to become a winner in life. But the appearance of Si fucking made her recall the oppressive feeling of being dominated in the berth of a staff. This made her irritable all over. Si fucking nodded slightly towards Wei Chenjiun. "I'm playing here, just came here." Professor Xiang suddenly said, "I remember, you were mentioned by Mr. Cai. It's me, your Professor Xiang, right?" It's more dangerous to enter the mountains at this time. I fucking glanced at the sky. You are old and female, and there are many girls in the team, all of whom are physically fit. Yin, it's better to go down the mountain early, and something bad might come out in a while. This time before dusk is called the time of the devil, and Dongsang Yin Yang realm believes that this is a cursed time period. You must leave Chaiwan Mountain before dusk, or you will be inseparable if you are born later. Professor Xiang was stunned. No, bad things. Well, some things cannot be explained by science, but they are real. I fucking said, for safety's sake, let's go down the mountain and come back another day. I fucking, what are you trying to say? Wu Weining couldn't listen anymore. She closed her eyes and said coldly, I'm not filming a variety show now, and I don't need to add any variety show atmosphere. You mean there are ghosts here? And where is it late now? The sun is just going down. You don't know the hardships of our medical students, do you? Yes, you are a big star, how do you know our hardships? In a modern civilized society, where are these ghostly things? Unknown all day long. Professor, ignore her. Wu Weining turned her head again and said to Professor Xiang, she is a star who has participated in a medical job search program, not a medical student. It's just a mountain, why can't you climb a mountain? She wants to go up. Because the Laoxiao and Xiang apps are about to stop running, and the babies who still have monthly tickets and evaluation tickets remember to vote, don't waste it. 3 equals. I poured into this book, it really made me, the name dropper, meet the crisis of writing novels. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 449. Although Wu Weining had heard a lot of local legends before coming to Dongsang, she just listened to it as a daily pastime. It's all stories, not true. There are even more legends about ghosts and ghosts in Daxia, and I haven't seen them really appear. Wu Weining scoffed at Si fucking statement. Not only that, but she also wanted to prove to others that what Si fucking said was wrong. When she saw that Wei Chenjiun and Chen Wengzhen were obedient to Si fucking, she felt a wave of disgust in her heart. I really don't know where Si fucking can curry favor. What great positions can he provide them? Wei Chenjiun frowned. Wu Weining. Although he didn't know why Si fucking said that, there must be a basis for her to say this. Si fucking's eyes fell on Wu Weining. Okay, you go. Wu Weining sneered again, of course I'm going. As she said that, she had already taken the lead to go up the mountain. Professor Xiang, a teacher, hesitated for a while, but still euphemistically said, our survey has reached the most critical point, and we cannot give up because of trivial matters. Several other students and teachers in the same team did not have Wu Weining's other thoughts on Si fucking, but they also believed that it was still early and there would be no danger. Even if they are really in danger, they can turn to the outside world for help. Professor Xiang is old, but the older generation will believe this. She hesitated, in case there is really something. Professor Xiang, this is impossible. Wu Weining turned around and persuaded, let's go up, it's not ancient anymore, we all have mobile phones. Ji Xingzi, who followed Si fucking, heard this and glanced at her, hey, you won't be able to call when you have a mobile phone. Do you really think that the earthbound spirit with 500 years of cultivation is vegetarian? The signal can be completely blocked. Wu Weining laughed angrily, who are you? Don't worry about it. If that's the case, then please go up the mountain. Si fucking said, let's walk slowly and experience the local customs here. Wei Chenjiun and Chen Wengzhen hesitated. They believe in science, and they also believe in Si fucking. Is it really okay? Si fucking understood other people's thoughts very well. After all, she couldn't believe it if she had never seen it before, so she had to show them. At this time, the sun has completely set, and the setting sun has sunk below the horizon. The entire Chaiwan mountain was dark, and the street lights turned on one by one, illuminating the way forward. I said there's no danger. Wu Weining sneered and said, isn't there still talent going down the mountain? There are still so many people, Sci-fi, it's too much for you to gain attention. Her words suddenly got stuck in her throat, and her voice stopped abruptly. Because these people's feet didn't touch the ground, they came floating here. Wu Weining was stunned for a few seconds. She was surrounded by floating spirits. Yu Fuling looked straight at her with an expression, his face was pale and his eyes were dark. The temperature difference in Chaiwan Mountain is huge, the temperature is low at night, and at this moment, there is a cold air floating up, making people feel like falling into an ice cellar. Wu Weining screamed, almost going crazy. What are these? She has received scientific education since she was a child, and she believes in materialism, and she has never seen such a scene. Really dirty stuff. Wu Weining wanted to run, but her legs were so soft that she couldn't move. She could only watch more and more floating spirits surround her. Her nerves were bearing too much emotion, unspeakable fear choked her heart, and she screamed again. Save me. Wu Weining believed it completely now, and she kept screaming, save me. I was wrong. I was really wrong. Her mind is blank now, only regret is left in her heart. How so? Wu Weining gritted her teeth, and after she was finally able to control her legs, she immediately ran off the sidewalk. Ji Xingzi was shocked, she is still running up. The top of the mountain is the base camp of the ghost. Several other teachers and students were also frightened, but they were not as excited as Wu Weining. They just watched helplessly as all kinds of people walked down, and some penetrated their bodies directly. Cold sweat broke out on everyone's back. Don't be afraid, Yu Fuling, you're not aggressive unless you're under control. Sci-fi said lightly, it's just that some things happen, you can see them. In fact, from you to Dongsang, one day, there were such floating spirits around you, but you couldn't see it before. Everyone. Better not to see it. Wei Chenjiun also felt his scalp tingling. Miss Si, can you still go down now? It's okay to go down. Si took out a few talisman papers from his pocket. Take the talisman papers and stay at the foot of the mountain. When the talisman papers are hot, you can leave. Wei Chenjiun took it and distributed it to others. After they got the talisman paper, they felt that the coolness dissipated. The floating spirits avoided them too. Although it can still be seen, it is better than before. Chen Wengzhen breathed a sigh of relief and said tremblingly, Miss Si, in the end you dash. His words paused with a look of horror on his face. What about Si? At this moment, several Onmyoji have gathered on the top of the mountain. The people from the 4 yin and yang families of Dongsang have all come. Each family sent 3 yin and yang celestial masters, and these yin and yang celestial masters brought the younger generation of each family out to experience, and there were also Onmyo masters who practiced loosely. When Si and Ji Xingzi came up, these Onmyoji had already fought against Yu Ming. The roar came, and Netherworld also controlled other floating spirits and launched an attack together. Si narrowed his eyes. This Netherworld's cultivation has broken through 600 years, and it already has an entity. Every 100 years is a checkpoint, and 600 years and 500 years are 2 concepts. There are only 12 Onmyoji celestial masters here today, not this ghostly opponent. Si leaned on the brim of his hat, and half of his body was hidden in the darkness, watching the battle calmly. Their information is wrong, and there are fewer people sent. Let's watch the show first. Ji Xingzi also took out a handful of melon seeds. Brother, how many? Si. She walked to the other side silently, not wanting others to know that she knew the second gangster. The battle had reached a fever pitch, and there was a sound of explosions in the wind. Yu Ming suddenly let out a roar, and more floating spirits were summoned around. "No, everyone back," the old man's expression changed drastically. "That blow didn't die, it was provoked. Stop it first, we have to find help as soon as possible. If this netherworld were to rush down the mountain, several towns under the mountain would be lost. Let's do it, shall we?" Ji Xingzi leaned over. "They seem to be dying." "Si said lightly, "No hurry." At the same moment, two very cold words sounded, and even the surrounding wind was mixed with coolness. "Step aside." Chong. It was the sound of the blade unsheathed. Shh Thorn. A long sword suddenly appeared and slashed down at this netherworld. Yu Ming let out a sharp and tragic cry of pain, and he couldn't struggle and rekindle, and it quickly disappeared. After Nether died, the enchantment it brought was completely shattered. The floating spirits on Chaiwan Mountain also dissipated one by one. At the same moment, at the foot of the mountain, Wei Chenjiun felt the talisman on his chest hot. With a look on his face, he immediately reached out to touch the air, and found that the invisible barrier blocking them had dissipated. Wei Chenjiun breathed a sigh of relief, and lifted up Professor Xiang, who was not lightly frightened. "Professor, let's go." He glanced at it and confirmed that everyone was safe, except that Wu Weining was not there. Wei Chenjiun frowned and called Wu Weining, but the phone could not be connected. He took a deep breath and could only leave Chaiwan Mountain with the others first. On the mountain, the owner of the long sword also slowly appeared in front of everyone. It was a woman in a black tights. Long black hair, cool white skin, and an excessively good figure. Dongsang's few popular national idols combined are far less than that. Her presence made the surroundings quiet. Immediately, the onmyologist cheered. "Tiankong Yunjian. It's Miss Minjiao. Miss Minjiao is here, thank God. Fortunately, there is Miss Minjiao, or else I will suffer a big loss today." Deadwood Moon. The genius of the Kukaki family is hard to come by in a century. Several onmyologis from the four major yin and yang families in Dongsang looked at each other with unwillingness in their eyes. They did not work together to kill this netherworld. It was Kuimu Minjiao who gave a sword at the last moment to kill this netherworld completely. Such a genius does not belong to the four of them. But this is also something that can't be done. Deadwood Minjiao is not only an onmyoji, but also an evolutionary. The well-known weakness of onmyoji's infirmity did not hold true in her. It is also because of the appearance of the Deadwood and Bright Moon that the two circles of evolutionary and onmyoji have intersected. Some people have deduced that Yu Wu's combat power is so high, maybe he is also an evolutionary. Kumu Minjiao is 27 years old this year, and she is still very young. She still has the Tiankong Yunjian in her hand, which is incomparable to the younger generation of her peers from the four great families of Yin and Yang. Kukaki Minjiao put the long sword back into the scabbard, and she took a few steps forward to check the location where the ghost appeared before. There was no fluctuation in her expression from beginning to end. "Brother, this pervert turns out to be a three-no-brained girl." Ji Xingzi lowered his voice. "You said she was fighting with you, I thought she was also a violent maniac." Si raised his eyebrows. "What are the three no girls?" "It's just silent, heartless, and expressionless." Ji Xingzi's brows danced. "It's cool and emotionless, but it's a cute thing in anime." Si kicked his ass. "Watch less anime." I was wrong, Ji Xingzi immediately said solemnly. "She is really powerful, and the Tiankong Yunjian is actually in her hands. This is one of the 10 great artifacts of the Eternal Continent. According to Dongsang mythology, Tiankong Yunjian is rumored to be a divine sword that emerged from the body of the monster Yaki Orokai, and it is extremely powerful. Because this monster has 8 heads and 8 tails, its huge body can fill 8 valleys and 8 hills, so it is called the Orokai. Well, I thought thoughtfully, she didn't exist when I met her. She should have been found in Eternal later. She is indeed a genius. The old man stepped forward and respectfully said, "Dare to ask Miss Minjio, this ghost." Deadwood Minjio suddenly stopped, she looked in one direction, and did not answer the old man's words. Immediately, she shot at Si fucking without warning, surprising everyone. Si fucking narrowed her eyes, she stepped a little, and quickly backed away, and Deadwood Minjio immediately followed, and soon the two disappeared into the jungle. Jizingzi made a hum-off sound, but didn't catch up. Is it a perverted way to say hello? The others looked at each other in dismay. Is that a girl? Who brought it in? Which one? I haven't seen it, have you seen what she looks like? She seemed to have blocked Miss Minjio's blow just now. Everyone couldn't help but take a breath, that was the Deadwood and Bright Moon. The peerless genius of the evolutionary and Onmyoji. Jizingzi glanced around and found that he could not perceive where Si fucking was, and could only follow these Onmyoji to clean up the mess. On the other side, in the woods, Kukaki Minjio suddenly stopped attacking. She reached out and pinched Si fucking's face, pinching left and right. For the first time, an emotion called confusion appeared on her face. This kind of emotion is not fake, it appears in the three no-brained girl Koimu Minjio, but there is a kind of contrast. Si fucking was stunned. Is this the cute point that Jizingzi said? Really cute? What do you do? Just fight, don't do anything. Si fucking squeezed Deadwood Minjio's hand, calmly, there are so many people who like me now, you have to line up. Deadwood Minjio's wrist was clasped and moved, but couldn't get it back. She stared closely at the girl's face. After a few seconds, she said blankly, I knew it was you, you woo. My aunt suffered from pain all night, insomnia 5555 still insisted on finishing the code. In fact, the top geniuses are all sympathetic, not so much intrigue and jealousy. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 450. Si fucking's expression paused, then let go of his hand, took 2 steps back, and laughed lazily, you're so sharp, Miss Minjio. She and Kukaki Minjio fought 7 times, 3 times in real life, and 4 times in Eternal. There is a saying that the one who knows himself best is his opponent. She just used a little power of yin-yang and 5 elements before she was discovered by Deadwood Minjio. The way the girl met each time was still the same. Rather than asking with his mouth, Kukaki Minjio prefers to confirm directly. Kukaki Minjio was still holding the Tiankong Yunjian in her right hand. When she heard this affirmative answer, she was stunned for 2 seconds, and a confused expression appeared on her face, are you a woman? Si fucking smiled, look at my figure and say it again. Kukaki Minjio sighed, then looked it over seriously, and said lightly, the figure of a child. Si fucking. Her fists hardened. I haven't seen you for a few years, but your strength has regressed. Deadwood Minjio regained her iceberg-like indifference, raised her sword, and pointed at the girl's eyebrows, even if the strength has regressed, the age has also regressed, what kind of onmyoji to rejuvenate? As a genius that is hard to come by in the 100-year-old Koimu family, Koimu Minjio has received a lot of resources from the Koimu family, and his attainment in the yin and yang 5 elements is no worse than Jizingzi. She is 2 years older than Jizingzi, and her eyes are more sinister. Take me as if I have practiced the yin-yang technique of rejuvenation. Si fucking shrugged, I don't want to explain, trouble. Okay. Deadwood Minjio returned the Tiankong Yunjian to the scabbard, and said in a light voice, I won't take advantage of others' danger, I will wait for you to restore your cultivation, and you and I will fight well. Si fucking paused and raised his eyebrows, if I sell my hue, can we not fight? Deadwood Minjio snorted lightly, raised his toes, his light body swept up, and soon disappeared. Si fucking touched his chin. Nice people, but too few words. Does she want to introduce a partner to her sixth senior brother? Pretty good idea. Si fucking put on his hat again, and walked down the path on the mountain unhurriedly, soon meeting with Ji Xingzi. Hey, big brother, are you okay? Ji Xingzi glanced behind her. Where's the Sanwua pervert? Let's go, Si fucking said with a lazy expression. I was recognized. I haven't seen her for a few years. Her cultivation has improved a lot, but she is more fighting. After all, Kukaki Minjaya was born in the three major evolutionary families, and the style of the evolutionary is still in his bones. No way, Ji Xingzi gasped, you were recognized without doing anything. Otherwise, how can you say she is a genius? Si fucking hummed. Wei Chenjiun told me just now that they have gone out. I'll go take a look. The other side. Dongsang's Onmyoges finished cleaning up the mess and all went down the mountain. But the ghostly aura has not completely dissipated, and there are still sneaky evil spirits coming out at this time. These sneaky evil spirits have no cultivation base, and they don't need an Onmyoji to take action, and the body protection instruments are enough to deal with them. The way down the mountain was also smooth. Until there was a black shadow in front, the Onmyoji gate stopped, and they were all a little wary. After confirming that it is an individual, they are relieved. It's good to be human. Why is there still someone here? The old man stepped forward first, checked Wu Weining's injury, and couldn't help but gasped, hey, the yin is in the body, this left hand can't be protected. If it was before, he could still save him. But after the battle with Yu Xing, they have all lost their power, and now they are not as good as ordinary people. They have to walk with crutches, let alone use the power of yin and yang and 5 elements to force the yin out of this person's body. Another young man stepped forward to check. He found Wu Weining's documents, and his expression changed. Uncle Xianzhang, she is a student of Xia University, we have to send her to the hospital as soon as possible. A few days ago, the story of Yu Wu's visit to the Takaizawa family to establish a prestige had already spread in Dongsang, and the 4 yin and yang families were all panicked. If there is another incident from Daxia people on their territory, what if Yu Wuta kills the 4 great yin-yang families? The old man obviously also thought of this, and his body shook. Yes, send to the hospital quickly. But they don't have the strength now, so they can only call the staff of the scenic spot in Chaiwan Mountain immediately to help. The old man was puzzled. Netherworld was born, ordinary Onmyoji were no match, and ordinary people couldn't resist. They had already cleared the top of the mountain before dusk. How can tourists come here by mistake? The staff of the scenic spot came and quickly sent Wu Weining to the hospital. Before the old man left, he also stuffed a talisman into Wu Weining's clothes. This talisman dispelled the yin qi on the surface of her body. Wu Weining woke up leisurely. The horror scene before the coma was still imprinted in her mind, and she screamed again. She managed to get rid of the group of floating spirits, but she encountered something even more terrifying, and those things kept chasing her. What's more terrible is that no matter how she walks, she can't get out of Chaiwan Mountain and keeps spinning in place. Wu Weining stepped back desperately, hissing exhausted, "Don't come here! Don't come here!" The nurses and doctors were a little surprised by her reaction, but they understood and comforted her. "Miss Wu, it's okay, you have left Chaiwan Mountain, this is the hospital, and the danger has been lifted." Hearing this, Wu Weining breathed a sigh of relief. She is blessed with great luck and has nothing to do. What did Si fucking say so scary? Wu Weining was about to get out of bed, but found that her left hand was unconscious, and there was a faint black mark around her wrist. This brought her back to some terrifying experiences, and she screamed again and started babbling. "Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't look for me, look for Si fucking! It's all her! Miss, please calm down. Your hand joints are necrotic. You must operate immediately, otherwise your entire arm will be affected," the doctor said. "Do you have any relatives here?" You need to sign the consent form for the operation. Wu Weining's lips trembled fiercely, her face pale. Want to remove it? She is a medical student and of course knows how important hands are to doctors. Not to mention the removal of the left hand, even if there is a little problem with the knuckles that affects the precision of the hand, it will not be able to go to the operating table. Wu Weining never thought that things would turn out like this. Her ears were buzzing and her brain was congested. If she had listened to Sci-fi's words earlier, she would not have been hit both mentally and physically. How to do? Wu Weining took a deep breath. Fortunately, she made both preparations and changed the answer to cell transplantation, so she could be a pure scientific research doctor. After her patent is granted, she will go to the Western continent for further studies. Moreover, her left hand is abolished. How can Sci-fi and the others go so easily in the face of so many floating spirits? It's better to die, so that she can balance her heart. Wu Weining closed her eyes and her body kept shaking. She won't lose, she still has a chance to win. Hashtag Dongsang 7.3 Earthquake Hashtag Chaiwan Mountain Scenic Area is closed Hashtag the injured have been transferred to the local hospital for treatment Hashtag Cai Zhonian couldn't contact anyone, so he was so nervous that he didn't sleep well all night. When we came together in the morning, I saw such a hot surge. I called Professor Xiang again, and this time I finally got through. Hey, Ms. Xiang, you scared me to death, Cai Zhonian said hurriedly. Are you okay? The student of mine went to find you, did you see it? Professor Xiang's team went out of Chaiwan Mountain successfully, but also chose to go to the hospital that night. Specially linked to the number of neurology. Everyone is fine. Professor Xiang was silent for a while, and said quietly, it's just that I need to reshape my worldview. In a short time or even in this lifetime, she will not go to Dongsang again. The floating spirits all over the mountains cast too much shadow on her, and had a serious impact on her scientific worldview. She's trying to sew up. Cai Zhonian. How can I go out to investigate and get involved in the worldview? But after confirming that Professor Xiang's medical team was safe and sound, Cai Zhonian was relieved. After condolences to Professor Xiang, he called Sci-fi again. Cai Zhonian thought about it and decided to fly to Dongsang in person, but was stopped by Sci-fi, so he had to give up. Teacher Lin Qingchen knocked on the door and walked in. This year's postgraduate defense in the Department of Medicine of Xia University, please come and be a judge. Cai Zhonian raised his head and was quite puzzled. Why did you specifically invite me to be a judge? It's said that there are a few good seedlings in this class. Lin Qingchen smiled. Teacher, please help to see. What Xiata means is whether these good seedlings can be sent to Liberty Island for further study. Okay, Cai Zhonian nodded. Is the paper finalized? Send it to me for a look. Peace of mind, the Deadwood and Bright Moon are good, rest assured that you like it. See you tomorrow.